Hello, Africa. Merry Christmas to Mama Africa. Merry Christmas to all Kenyans living in the state of Washington, USA. Merry Christmas to all Ethiopians living in the state of Washington, USA. Merry Christmas to all people from Eritrea living in the state of Washington, USA. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all Cameroonians. Merry Christmas to all Ghanaians. Merry Christmas to all Nigerians. Merry Christmas to all Africans. Let me put it in the broader context and perspective. Merry Christmas to all Africans in the diaspora. All Africans living across the globe. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you and welcome once again to our maiden video on our broadcasting network by name Africa My Heritage. Africa My Heritage. You see the passion upon which I'm using to pronounce this. Africa My Heritage. I love Africa. I belong to Africa. I'm a child of Africa, and I do welcome all of you to our maiden broadcast on the channel by name Africa My Heritage. I greet you all. I'm praying and I'm hoping that as we are still going through the Christmas season, it wouldn't take long for us to also see the new year, that is 2022. I believe as we all march into 2022, as we are all hoping for, as we are all waiting to see, Mother Africa would be better off. Mother Africa would be better off. Ghana would be better off. Ethiopia would be better off. Kenya would be better off. Cameroon would be better off. Nigeria would be better off. Cote d'Ivoire would be better off. South Africa would be better off. Tunisia would be better off. Morocco would be better off. So purposely, we all just are praying and wishing to see better for Africa come 2022. I stand for Africa. I represent Mama Africa. That is why I'm called African Child Kwame. I'm called Kwame, the African Child. And the channel name is Africa My Heritage. And I do welcome all of you once again. So purposely, as I've been able to wish all Africans in diaspora, I've been able to wish you a Merry Christmas and also a prosperous new year to come. I have a very short message for Mama Africa. If I talk about Mama Africa, I'm talking about all Africans living in the United States. I'm talking about all Africans living in United Kingdom. I'm talking about all Africans living in Canada. I'm talking about all Africans living in Australia. I'm talking about all Africans living in Germany. I'm talking about all Africans living in Asia, Southern Asia, Eastern Asia. I'm talking about all Africans living in Europe as a continent. I'm talking about all Africans living in North America. I'm talking about all Africans living in Oceania. I'm talking about all Africans living in Australia. This my broadcast is targeting you. This my broadcast is purposely meant for you. I think as we are all waking up to the new dawn of Africa, we are all waking up to the new Africa that we are all aspiring to see. And as much as we are all waiting for this Africa, I believe in one way or the other, we all have roles that we are supposed to play so that the mother continent by name Africa that we all want to see developing would develop and can be compared to continents like North America and can be compared to continents like Europe, as we are all waiting and we are all anticipating to see. So this my short broadcast to introduce this maiden channel by name Africa My Heritage. This my short broadcast is meant to bring all Africans, bring all Ghanaians in diaspora together so that we can sit on the table to start thinking, to start figuring out ways and means that wherever we may be finding ourselves right now, as you would have the opportunity to view this video, wherever you may be having the opportunity to watch this video from, whether you are in the North America, whether you are in Oceania, Europe, wherever you may have the opportunity to watch this video, to stream this video, I am talking to you. I am targeting you. I'm just waking all of us up. I'm not trying to preach it that I know it all. I'm not trying to proclaim a stance that shows and indicate that I'm trying to be maybe smart. I'm trying to maybe outsmart my viewers or my subscribers or my followers. No, but what I'm simply seeking to do is that there are some basic things in the Western world that most Africans immigrate from Africa to settle in the Western world. But they can live here for years, and yet they may not have the opportunity to leverage on these things that I'm about to mention to you. And as I said, this channel by name, Africa, My Heritage, and here with me, Kwame, African Child, we are purposely here to educate our fellow Africans. If I say educate, I may purposely not be educating most of our African fathers, most of our African mothers, most of our African sisters and uncles that have been here for almost about 30 years, that have been here for almost about 20 years, that have been here for almost about 15 years, because whatever I'm about to share, whatever I'm about to discuss here, most of these people, they know it all. Most of our Africans, brothers and sisters, most of our African mothers, most of our African parents that have been able to live in Europe for more than 10 years, that have been able to live in Oceania for more than 10 years, that have been able to live in Australia for more than 10 years, that have been able to live in United States and Canada and other country or Japan for more than 10 years. They know about this system that I'm about to talk about. But purposely, this video is seeking to target the youth, the next generation, the next crop of leaders who are Africans but have immigrated to countries like United States, as I'm finding myself here right now. This my video is targeting you. This my video is purposely coming to you and to my parents and to our fathers and to our mothers and to our sisters and uncles that have been living here almost about 20 years now, but yet have no clue, have no idea about what I'm about to share with you. You can also consider watching this video also. In simple terms, I wouldn't want to take or waste much of our time. I'll just go straight to the point. In simple terms, what I'm here to discuss with my Africans in diaspora is simply how we can leverage on our rent to own. How we can leverage on rent to own. Somebody may ask me, what do you mean by saying rent to own? Rent to own, and not rent to keep on becoming a tenant, but you can be a rent, or you can be somebody who is renting, and as you are renting, and as you've been as it has been rented out to you for almost about say 15 years, for almost about say 20 years, then the property can become yours. The property can be in your name. The property can be transferred onto your name. That is purposely what I'm seeking to do with this live short broadcast. So simply, what seems to be predominantly happen in the neighborhoods, in the communities of all Africans, is that wherever you go, whether it may be United States, whether it may be United Kingdom, whether it may be Europe, or wherever you may go, that you will see most African immigrants or most Africans in diaspora. Wherever you may go, that you will see these people. You can see that when you meet them, and they are maybe say 100. Out of the 100, 93% out of the 100 are renting apartments. They are renting rooms from people that own a house. They are renting rooms from people that owns an apartment. They are renting places, paying huge sums amount of money. And as much as they do that, we also want to consider another opportunity which is available unto us, another way of renting. And as we rent, we can also own the property, we can also own the apartment, we can also own the house that we've been renting for almost about 20 or 15 years now. In simple terms, most people in America, most people in Canada knows about this system that I'm about to talk about. So I'm charging on all of you, my young generation. I'm charging on all of you, the next club of leaders that I believe is going to lead Africa, that I believe is going to lead Africa into prosperity, that I believe is coming out of that I believe is having more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and education with respect to how the global world is moving because of the power of the social media, the power of technology that we are witnessing at our age. You see, so people living in America and people living in Canada, they better off understand the system that we call credit rating system or credit score. So purposely, and that's it. Popularly, people would prefer calling it a credit score or credit rating. So in America, in Canada, credit rating or your credit score is everything. So once you have a very good credit score, then it can open doors of numerous doors of opportunity for you. Let me repeat myself. If you're living in America and you are African and you would have the opportunity and privilege to watch this video, if you're living in Canada and you are African and you would have the opportunity to watch this video, wherever you may be watching me from, that you are African, and yet the system that is existing in this country is run through with a credit score like we have in America and in Canada, in other countries, then I'm charging on you. You can leverage on your good credit score and the fact that you've been working consistently for almost about 6 months. You can leverage on that to either seek for a mortgage. So if I say a mortgage, what is the meaning of a mortgage? So mortgage simply means, so in simple terms, let me try to explain it in this way. So mortgage simply means a loan that you can contract from a bank, or a loan that a bank can contract to you, or a bank buying a house for you, so that you can be paying the amount of the house, or you can be paying the principal money of the house for maybe say in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, or in the next 20 years ahead of us. So with respect to the mortgage, what you will simply be doing is that once you have a very good credit score, once the credit rating deemed you to be somebody wealthy, to be loaned to, or to be given some credits, and you've been working for, maybe say you've been staying on one job for almost about a year, or consistently you are staying on one job for almost about 6 months, then I'm saying that it itself qualifies you to be able to own a house in an America or in Canada or in any Western world that have this credit rating system. So what you can simply do is that once maybe before you came to watch this video, where you are living right now, you've been renting out, or maybe you are renting this apartment, you are renting this 2-bedroom apartment, you are renting this 1-bedroom apartment, or maybe you are renting this 2-bedroom in a condo, or you're renting this 2-bedroom in a basement for almost about 10 years now. You are just renting it. You are just a tenant. You can rent as much as 50 years. You can rent as much as 40 years. The property will never become yours. It can never be transferred into your name. So this is some of the opportunities that we can consider, so that we can live smart here, and as we can live smart here and we can leverage on the system, we can save some good amount of money to also go back to Africa to invest, to see the transformation of Africa that we are all waiting to see. So what you can simply do is that once you've been staying on one job for almost about 6 months, and you receive a good amount of money, maybe say on the current job that you are on it right now, your base wages, or your base salary for the whole month is maybe say $4,000, or maybe say $4,500, or maybe let me cap it $5,000. Once you've been staying on this current job, or this job that you're doing now, for more than 6 months, and your base salary for the whole month is almost about $4,000 or $5,000, and you have a credit score rate, and as a good credit score that is going from maybe say 700, and you have a very good credit score that is going from 700 upwards, not 700 downwards. You have a very good credit score that is going from 700 upwards and not 700 downwards, because with the American system, with the American credit score system, the credit score runs up to 850. And once you are at the level of 850, that means you have a very perfect credit score. Whatever you want to leverage on your credit score to get in America or Canada, it would be possible for you to reach out to. So now I'm talking about you having a credit score from maybe say 700 going, and you've been staying on one job for more than say 6 months, and your base salary for the whole month is almost about say $4,000 or $5,000. But yes, so you are still renting an apartment. Yes, so you are still renting 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, so you are still renting two bedroom, or you are renting a condo, or you are renting from somebody's basement. I am giving you this clue. What you can simply do is that go to your bank where you are saving your money. Go to that financial institution and tell them that you want them to help you to acquire a mortgage to maybe get a house. Most banking institutions have this mortgage plan. They sometimes advertise it on their mobile platform. They sometimes advertise it through the newsletters that you'll be writing to you. They sometimes advertise it through television. They sometimes advertise it through the internet. You can just go straight to your bank and tell your bank you want to own a house, and then they will ask you, what are you looking up to? Maybe you're looking up to maybe a house that can cost you maybe say $500,000, or maybe you're looking up to maybe a house that can cost you maybe say $300,000. It depends on your own choice, and it depends on your financial preparation that you've made for almost about say 10 years or maybe say 15 years. Once you go to your bank and you want your bank to look for a property that can meet your needs, your bank can also do that for you. At the same time, you can also look for a property and recommend the property to your bank. So simply your bank would sit down with you. They will ask you that maybe this property that you want us to give you a mortgage, or you want to leverage on a mortgage to acquire this property. This property would be costing, or this property is costing let's say $400,000. And since this property is costing maybe say $400,000, you wouldn't have all the $400,000 to deposit to enable us to buy this property. So what we are going to ask you to do is that maybe out of the $400,000, maybe deposit 10% of the 10% of the $400,000, or maybe say 15%. Most important, some banks will say 12%. Some bank can go as much as say 15%, and some bank can also go as much as 10%. It depends on some of the banking industry, but what predominantly is in the system is from 10%, 12%, and 15%. So they will ask you to deposit the 10% or the 12% or the 15% of the $400,000. And once you can deposit that amount of money, and you can also show that you are working on a job more than 1 year or 6 months, then that makes you eligible for the bank to take your 10% deposit, or your 12% deposit, or your 15% deposit out of the $400,000 to acquire the property for you, since you are working and you can still be paying it every month. They can acquire the property for you, and once they have acquired the property for you, and mind you, the down payment that you made, the 10% down payment, the 15% down payment, the 12% down payment that you made is what we call equity. We call it equity when it comes to when it comes to what we are real estate. We call it equity. So the 10% down payment out of the $400,000 that you made, the 12% down payment or the 15% down payment that you made, that you pulled down, that you gave to the bank, that you gave as your initial deposit, is what we call the equity. So once your equity has been taken, once the equity has been taken from you, then the bank can also consider that you are working and you are receiving a good salary of maybe say $5,000 a month. So the bank will sit down with you. Now, this property that is costing $400,000 that we are acquiring for you, you've given us an equity of maybe say 10% or 12%. That is a minimum deposit. You're giving us that equity. So with the rest of the balance to pay, we are going to spread it for maybe say 25 years. We are going to spread it for maybe say 30 years for you to pay it small by small every month, because they know you cannot pay it instantly. They know you cannot pay it within 5 years time. They know you cannot pay it within 6 years time. They know you cannot pay it within 10 years. So what the bank will do with it is that they will sit down with you and they will tell you, we are going to spread this money. We are going to spread this amount left for you to pay in the mortgage. We are going to spread it for maybe say 40 years. We are going to spread it for maybe say 15 years. We are going to spread it for maybe say 50 years or maybe say 30 years, based on your account build up and based on your financial record. The bank would sit down and just discuss this thing with you, and the duration or the period that they will be giving to you to pay the rest of the mortgage is what we call amortization. It's simply in accounting terms or in real estate terms, we call it amortization. And with respect to the amortization, they can give you from 20 years going. Sometimes the maximum could even reach 40 years, and the minimum could be maybe say 20 years or maybe say 25 years or maybe say 26 years, depending on your financial build-up, or depending on your account credibility or your financial records credibility, like I'm talking about right now. And once this system has been put in place, the house becomes yours. Because already you've made your down payment, then the rest would be spread for you to maybe pay in the rest of the next 30 years ahead of us. And my brother, my sister, my father, my mother, doing so is far, far better off than you staying at one particular place that you are watching this video from right now, that you've been rented. This place has been rented out to you for almost about 20 years now. And this place that has been rented out to you for almost about 20 years now, every month you are paying more than $1,600. Listen to it very carefully. Where you are living right now, that have been rented out to you for more than that have been rented out to you for maybe say $1,600 every month. You've been paying this $1,600 every month for almost about 30 years now, for almost about 15 years now, for almost about 20 years now. And believe me or not, this same facility that you're living in, you can live there and keep paying this $1,600 every month of rent for almost about 50 years. The place would never be yours. It can never be transferred into your name. It can never be leased off totally to you, because that facility belongs to an owner. It belongs to a landlord. It belongs to somebody, and he or she has rented out that facility to you. So in smart way, wisdom, knowledge, understanding needs to tell you, or needs to caution you, or needs to advise you that for you to go through a system like that, whilst you can also leverage on getting a mortgage with the same system that is already existing for you, then if you want to play smart, the best thing for you to do is to stop renting the 2-bedroom apartment that you're paying $1,600 every month, and it's better for you to go and seek for a mortgage. It is better for you to go and seek for a mortgage. And if I say go and seek for a mortgage, what I'm simply saying here is that if you think you have saved almost about $50,000 in your account for the past 20 years, if you think you've been able to save more than $50,000 in your account for the past 20 years, and for the past 20 years at the same time you're also paying $1,600 for your rent every month, then brother, sister, mother, father, uncle, auntie, you qualify to have a mortgage, providing you have a very good credit score that is going from 700 upwards. You qualify to own a mortgage. So for you to, instead of you keeping on to rent out this place that can never become yours, that can never be transferred into a name, it is better for you to quit, go to your bank, leverage on the money you've been able to save for the past 20 years, which is almost about $50,000. Leverage on your good credit score, and leverage on the fact that you've been staying on one job for more than 2 years, and leverage on all these things to get a mortgage, so that mortgage can be spread out for you to pay so that you can pay. As you pay for it, it becomes yours in the next 30 years, it becomes yours in the next 20 years, it becomes yours in the next 25 years ahead of us. It makes more sense. There is more wisdom, there is more knowledge, there is more smartness in renting to own a place than renting without the place becoming yours in the next 20 or 30 years ahead of us. So that is the little brief explanation I can give with respect to you owning a house through a mortgage. That is a little explanation I will give to you in our maiden video. And the second thing I will go to straight is a system that we also call rent a condo or rent apartment and own. You rent and you own. So in the same way that you would still insist on renting the apartment, you would still insist on renting the condo. Let us play it smart here. There are many apartment facilities, there are many condo facilities that they are looking for people that would come in as people that are coming to rent, but as the authority is releasing off the facility to you, as they are renting it out to you, you can go into an agreement with them that even though you are renting this facility, you are renting this 2-bedroom from them, you are renting this 3-bedroom from them, in the next 30 years ahead of us, this rent money that you are paying every month now, it would enable you to own the place. Let's say, assuming maybe you are living in 2-bedroom apartment, assuming you are living in maybe say 2-bedroom condo. What I'm simply saying here is that if the system that I'm talking about is not existing in your facility that you are renting right now, if the system that I'm talking about is not existing in the condo that you are renting right now, then find out, go to the internet, look on the web and look for apartments that you can rent and own. You can rent and own. I don't want you to keep on renting for the next 30 years ahead of us and you will still become a tenant. You cannot own the facility. We are trying to play it smart here by renting the facility, and as we rent it, every money that we are putting down, we are paying for the property every month. As we can do that in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years, in the next 40 years ahead of us, we can become the original owner of the 2-bedroom apartment, of the 2-bedroom condo, or of any facility that has that agreement that I'm talking about here. So my people, my fellow Africans, all Africans in diaspora, all Ethiopians living in the state of Washington, living in the United States, all Kenyans living in Washington, living in the United States, all Eritrea people, all people from Ethiopia, all people from Ghana, all Africans in diaspora with respect to United States, with respect to Canada, please, let us try and play it smart and leverage on opportunities like this to rent a place and own than renting it out, than continuously renting it out, than continuously paying rent for almost about 12 years, for almost about 15 years, for almost about 16 years, for almost about 30 years, and yet the facility, the apartment, the condo can never be transferred into your name. You can never own it because it was rented out to you. So instead of we going and looking or seeking for apartment that we can rent, or it can be rented out to us and paid every month, we should rather go and look for apartment that we can rent and own in the next 30 years. We can rent and own in the next 30 years, next 35 years. We can rent and own in the next 40 years ahead of us. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of reason than we staying on one facility. It has been rented it out to us for almost about 20 years now. We've been paying rent every month, and yet the facility can never be ours. The facility can never be transferred into our name should we even decide to even live there for almost about 60 years. So my fellow Africans, my people, we came here to leverage on opportunities, leverage on the job market, leverage on the employment opportunity that is limited in our continent called Africa. We came into a place like United States to leverage on this job market system. So as we've been employed and we are leveraging on this job market system, let us learn how to play it smart to enable us to save good money here, so that we can use that good money that we've been able to save here to go back to Africa, to invest in Africa, to make sure we can also uplift the face of our continent Africa to also become like the continent of the Northern America, or the continent of North America, or the continent of maybe say Oceania, or the continent of maybe say Eastern Asia. That is simply my short message or my short broadcast I decided to share with you in the maiden video of this channel by name Africa My Heritage. Africa My Heritage. And as I said, I am Kwame, African Child. I wouldn't take much of your time. I'll pause here with our first and maiden broadcast, and in our subsequent video we are going to highlight a lot of things that I believe that I believe are in the Western countries like America, Canada, and other countries that we as Africans that have immigrated from Africa to this place, we can leverage on it to be able to have good money, save good money, and to also go back to Africa to also invest in our continent Africa. Because mind you, not all Africans would have the opportunity to travel outside Africa like some of us have gotten. So once we have this opportunity that most of our brothers and sisters don't have in Africa, let us leverage on this system. Let us leverage on these opportunities to our own benefit and to the benefit of our family members that we have left back in Africa. And somebody may ask why the name Africa My Heritage. As I said, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm African. I see myself more as an African than being a Ghanaian, because Africa is a mother continent. So Ghana, Ethiopia, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Togo, Mali, they are all children of Africa. Are you understanding? South Africa, Tunisia, Morocco, they are all children of the continent called Mother Africa. Even though I'm a Ghanaian, I see myself more as an African. That is the reason why we named the channel Africa My Heritage. And since most African countries can speak English, we would prefer going forward, we are going to broadcast in English, so that whatever message we are we are seeking to convey, or we are seeking to put out there, most of our African brothers and sisters can also get it. God bless you. Thank you. Stay blessed and stay safe. Work hard, save good amount of money, invest, play it smart, always with the system. And once the opportunity presents itself, leverage on it to also help build Mother Africa and our beautiful continent called Africa. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe. I will see you in the next broadcast again. This is Kwame, African Child. Thank you. Stay blessed.